saw one of those data sheets recently, and for the past 10 years, only two bands have held a top 5 spot on like the Billboard top charts, and it's all been solo artists or bands that are supported by a solo artist ever since. And there's this mindset that in the current music market,
absolutely
the
zero
band is
last
dead.
8 years.
It's about the solo artist, and then they hire a band to back them up to make them sound more full.
Well, and even in today, some of these bands are a solo artist that have just hired dudes,
Yeah.
and they name it a band,
Yeah.
and that's what that is. You know, in a good
Well, even
percentage of
Mellencamp
those.
or John Cougar back in the day, everybody thought that was a band, and it was not a band. It was John
Well, it was
Mellencamp.
John Mellencamp.
That's a good example.
And, his drummer, everybody were hired guns.
Right.
The whole career.
Well, it's interesting to see how that's come full circle. So you go back to the 40s and 50s, you've got Elvis Presley, you've got Johnny Cash, you've got all these guys, and it was them, and then they would have hired musicians playing behind them. And then I think in the 60s and 70s, we started to see these group bands where there wasn't necessarily a single standout person in them.
Right.
And Pink Floyd's a good example. Freaking Van Halen's a good example, too.